Okay, so in this example, what we are asking guys here, I want to restricted update operation. So update operation, we need to restrict it on particular table. Okay, when I want to restrict it means if new salary is less than to old salary. So whenever your new salary is less than to old salary, so there I need to restrict your okay update operation. Okay, now right. So now how this logic we can write here, come to your database. So now first of all, we want to call our table. So let us start from EMP 11. So EMP 11 table yesterday we created. Okay, right. So this is our table, guys. Here, EMP 11 table, and having some information about the employees. Okay, now? Right. So now what I want to do, guys, here. Okay, so on this table, now I'm going to performing some. Okay, what we can say. Uh, I want to write some condition to restricted my update operation. Okay, now restricted my update operations. So now how to restricted update operation? Let you see, we are creating one trigger. So create or replace, create or replace trigger. And trigger name is T or update. Okay, and here you can use after or before. That operation I'm going to take a restricted update and EMP 11. So after that, I'm using for each row, for each row, later begin. And the condition is what now? Here, update operation, I want to restrict it. But I already explained to you, when you want to perform update operation, we need the both bind variables we required. Okay, we required the bind variables, both bind variables we required. Okay, so that's what we want to do, guys, here. Okay, if colon new, this binding variable storing, okay, new values, colon new dot salary, which is less than 2. That means new salary, which is less than 2 old salary. So colon old bind variable. So that means whatever user inserting new salary, the new salary is holding by, okay, colon new bind variable. And already existing salary was there in the table that was holding by old salary. So colon old variable. Okay. So now if new salary, which is less than to old salary, which is less than to old salary, then immediately we need to restrict it now. So I want to fire my exception. I want to fire. So firing exception purpose we are using rise underscore application underscore error of some number. And what you say, so new salary, okay, should not a new salary not less than to old salary. Okay, now. So this is one statement, one user-friendly message we are passing here. New salary not less than to old salary. So now I just go to executed here and to end if my and if you are so end if and your begin statement. Okay, let me see. Okay, so now the trigger object is created, guys, here as per the condition. And now let me see. Now I'm going to doing update operation. Update. My table name is EM11. Set salary is equals to so 24,000, where salary is equals to 25,000. So here 25,000 employee salary. I'm updating with the 24,000. But your 25,000 employee Smith was there. Okay, his salary 25,000. So 25,000 is already old salary. This is already existing salary. Existing salary means what now? Old salary. Already the salary was having in the table. So that 25,000 I'm updating with the 24,000. Okay. So it means that here observe carefully. So here what happened, you can see. So this is your new salary, right? This is your new salary. So this is new salary, the new salary holding by new bind variable. Okay. So that means I want to give here new salary. And this is what now old salary. This old salary holding by colon old bind variable. Okay. Now? So that means that here the new salary 24,000 less than old salary 25,000. Now tell me, guys, here condition true or false? Come on, guys. Condition true or false? Okay, so condition is true. So when condition true, I already said to you in the previous examples, I was explained here. So when condition true, your application error will be occur. That means exception will be rise. When exception will be rise, then your operation will not be work. That means your operation execution process will be stopping here. Your query execution will be stopped. Okay, now? Right. So now that was happening here to execute it now. So it was showing exception, and my exception is what? New salary not less than to old salary, and the error during execution of the trigger scott.tr. Okay, now, but the same thing, guys, here if I want to go for, if I'm using 26,000, okay, now, so where salary is equals to 25,000. So now in this case, what happened? Your new salary is more than to old salary. So that means the new salary is a bigger. It's a bigger than old salary. So now 26,000 less than 25,000. So that means condition is false. So when condition is false, my exception will not be fired. Exception will not be fired. So when exception will not be fired, then my update operation will be executed. Then my update operation will be executed. Okay, now? So now let me see, it is executed and one row is updated. And after that, if you want to come back and see your table, EMP11. So now 26,000 is successfully updated. 26,000 is successfully updated. So this is what we called as here. This is what we called as an update operation. How to restrict it, okay, on your table based on some logic or some logical condition. Okay, now. So this is okay what we called as here the update operation restriction level. So 24,000, it is not allowed, but it was allowed here 26,000. Okay, so these are guys here some examples of how to create a row level trigger by using of bind variables. And I said to you, bind variables we can use under row level triggers only. Okay, now right. And now we will see some examples on statement level triggers. So examples on statement level triggers. So in this one example, create a trigger, okay, trigger to restricted, okay, to restricted all DML operations. See here what I'm doing here, not individually, I'm not restricted here. At a time, insert, update, and delete operations are be restricted now. So restricted all DML operations on a table on a table. But when it was restricted means okay, when it was restricted means DML operations on a table on every Thursday, on every Thursday. Okay, now. So yeah, the question is very important. Observe. So what it was telling us here, I need to create a trigger object to restrict DML operations on a table on every Thursday. That means a particular day I was mentioned. So on every Thursday I said. It means that, so we know weekly 7 days, and in the 7 days, every Thursday, I need to restrict my DML operations. Okay, that means I don't want to allow. I don't to allow, okay, DML operations on every Thursday, on every Thursday. So that means Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so these days you can perform DML operations on your table. Okay, now these days we can perform. But when the day was Thursday, then I cannot perform DML operations. So that means this is not only one particular one time, not only one particular one time. So it was every Thursday. That means it is a lifelong condition. So we are applying a condition which is lifelong. So that means every Thursday, when you performing your DML operations, so those are not allowed. Okay, remaining days, sir, we are giving permissions to allow. But Thursday, when the day was Thursday, then we don't want to give a permissions to allow. Understand now? So this is what we called as guys here. Okay, the condition and the restriction of a logic. And here at a time, here previous examples individually. So only one operation we update restricted. So single, so individually. So here update restricted separately. Here delete command restricted. Here insert command restricted. So individualities we checked out in row level triggers. But in statement level trigger, advantage is what now? At a time you can restrict all operations. Okay, now right. But how we can go? Let me come out and see. And the previous triggers, whatever it was there. TR in, TR del, TR. Okay. So let me come out. This is my table. Okay. The previous, whatever the triggers I created, those triggers I'm dropping now here in drop trigger here del drop trigger here. Okay. So on my EMP11, okay, whatever the previously I was created trigger in, trigger del, trigger up, the all triggers are I drop it. So that means now on this table there is no triggers. It means there is no restrictions on this table. Okay, now so my all triggers are I successfully dropping here. So now on my table there is no restrictions level. There is no restrictions level. Understand now? Okay, right. So now again it is a new table. On this table, we are not giving any restrictions. There is no triggers on this table. Okay. Now I want to create my new trigger. Create or replace trigger, and trigger name is tree or day. Okay. Now. So now I'm using after keyword because some examples I show you previously before keyword, and now I'm using after keyword. So any keyword you can use, I said. Okay, but few examples I showed before and few examples after. Then you can understand, okay, anyone we can use it. Okay, so after, now I'm using which operations? DML operations, insert, update, and delete on which table? EMP11 table. EMP11 table. And now next one is what now? Here for each row is not required. Okay, because the for each row I said only for row level triggers. Whenever row level triggers we created, there only you can use a for each row. Okay, and there only I can use a bind variables. So for each row statement, bind variables I cannot use under statement level triggers. Okay, statement level triggers are not supported. So that's why we don't want it directly. We are using begin. Okay, and the condition here, what is my condition, guys? Here, every Thursday I need to restricted my DML operations. Every Thursday. So now I'm giving. So here the condition is I'm using one function, to underscore char function I'm using. To underscore char function I'm using. So already to underscore char function we already discussed in your SQL part. You just recall your functions. So to underscore char function, here I'm using sysdate. Along with this function, sysdate I'm using. So why sir I'm using sysdate means sysdate function also we already discussed. This function will be returns. This function will be returns. Okay, now so what it was returns here? The current date and time information of your system. Okay, now your current date and time information will be written from your system. Okay, now so that's why I'm taking sysdate. And now here one interval I'm taking here, dy interval. This is called day interval. So dy interval, what it was returns the first three characters of a day spelling. The first three characters of a day spelling. So if any confusion is there, guys, here, so please go to functions topic in SQL language. In SQL language, predefined functions we discuss. So please go to once check it, then you can understand. Okay, now right. So now sysdate comma dy. Dy is the interval, and dy interval returns the first three characters of a day spelling. So in your day spelling, first three characters will be returns. So now sysdate comma dy, okay, now is equals to, I'm saying here, careful of that, is equals to the first three characters of Thursday spelling is what now? THU. This is first three, okay, characters of a Thursday spelling. THU. Understand now? Right. Suppose, as per your system data, Okay, as per your system data, the day was Thursday. The day was Thursday. Then condition true as per system data. Suppose your day was Thursday, then condition will be true. If it is true, then what I said, I need to write my application error. That is called a write exception now. Because my condition true, I want to write the exception. So rise underscore application underscore error of minus 20345. And here I'm saying that we cannot perform DML operations. We cannot perform DML operations on Thursday. On which day, guys? Here on Thursday. Okay, now so some user-friendly methods and pass. And later and if and later and execute now. So now trigger is created, guys. Here that's fine. And this is my table having your total 5 employees data was there. So now let me come out and see how it was working here. Suppose any one operation we can test, either insert operation or update operation or delete operation. So any operation you can test. Suppose one of the operation I'm testing delete from EMP11. So where employee ID is equal to 1023. So what user is trying here? User is trying to deleting a specific row from the table. A user is trying to deleting a specific row from the table. Okay, now? Right. So now what it was happening, you can see. So whenever I'm going to executing this query, that means I'm trying to execute it. Okay, first what it will do, this your trigger will be fired and the trigger will be checking what is your date present. That means in your system, in your computer today, what is the date today? Today, what is the day today? So that will be checking first of all. Now let me come out and see your table time, the date and time. Yes. So today in my computer, today my date is December 16, 2021. Today my day is what now? December 16, 2021. So it means that today, Thursday, as per my computer data, as per my system data, today, Thursday. Okay, now? That means here, how it was taking this date means, this date is nothing but current date information of your system. What is my current date information here? What is my current date information? 16th December 2021. This is date information. So from this data, what I am going to return day value. I'm returning what now? Day interval. dy interval I am returning here. So 16th day. 16th day is a which day, guys, here? Thursday. 16th day is a which day here? Thursday. Yes or no? Thursday. So now Thursday, first 3 characters, because the dy interval returns first 3 characters of day spelling. Okay, now. So now Thursday. Now tell me Thursday is equals to Thursday. Thursday is equals to Thursday. Tell me, guys. Condition true or false? Come on. Thursday is equals to Thursday. THU is equals to THU. Condition true or false? Condition true or false, guys? Here, yes, condition true. So condition is true. Condition is true. Yes or no? Condition true means what it was happen. Your exception statement will be firing. That means your rise application error exception will be fired. So once it was firing, so your exception will be occurred. Okay, and once it is exception is occurred, then your delete operation is not allowed. The delete command is not executed because exception will be firing. Okay, now let me see. Let me see. Yes, exception is fired. And what is my exception here? We cannot perform DML operations on Thursday. Okay, and your error during execution of the trigger. So at the time of execution of the trigger, your operations will be not allowed. So this is what now the day was as per my compute, as per my system. Suppose guys here, okay, I said this condition will be lifelong. So this is present day. That means a present tense. The present day we discuss. Suppose are you changing your date now? Suppose I'm going to change my data. Okay, I'm changing my data. Suppose December 16. Okay, now let me come out. This is present day. Suppose the day I'm changing. Previously I have to go. Previously means previous month I will go. Otherwise November. November 18 I selected. For example, here I want to take so November 18, 2021. I changed my data, okay, for my system. Let you come out, guys, here. Now my present, my computer, that means my system showing date is November 18, present date. But November 18 is also Thursday. November 18 is also Thursday. Okay, now is also Thursday. But November 18, guys, is it a future tense or also already completed? That means it is a past tense or present tense or future tense. Now, whatever the day was showing in my computer, is it past tense or present tense or future tense? Yes, it is a past tense. That means this day already completed. It's over already. It is a past tense, already over. But still, it is a Thursday. Yes or no? So now let you come out and see the same query I'm going to execute it. Okay, still it was error. So the day already completed. It is a past tense, but still the day is a Thursday. So my trigger condition is matching. That's why exception will be fired. Okay, na? Right. So past tense we checked out, present tense we checked it, and next one is what now? Future tense. Suppose I'm going to check in future tense. The future tense is what now? Suppose December. Okay, otherwise I will go to January. January. In the January for the future, January. Okay, 6 was there. January 6 is there. So now I selected 6 now. January 6. Okay. So January 6, 2022, the future. So now I'm going to change. But here come out and see now present my computer day, what it was showing January 6, 2022. My present, okay, what it was showing January 6, 2022. Okay, now, right. So now what it was happening, you can see now. Now, so but as per my data, this is January 6th, 2022. But guys, here this is not a present tense. This is not a past. This is a future. That means still we are not going to there, but it is a future tense. But still, what happening when I'm going to executing this query? Still, it is also not allowed. So that means the day whatever the condition I was written, if the condition will be satisfied either past tense or present tense or future tense. Okay, na? So in any particular day, but the day was Thursday, the day was Thursday, okay, the day was Thursday, then it is not allowed. That means your trigger will not giving permissions to your DML operations, okay, to performing on your, what we can say, table. So that means what happened? On every Thursday, either it is a past tense, present tense, future tense, I don't know. But if your day was Thursday, then DML operations are automatically restricted by your trigger object. Okay, na? So that's what it was. So that's why we checked out. Present tense we checked, not allowed. Past tense we checked, not allowed. Future tense we checked, not allowed. The three tenses we checked out, but your operation is not allowed. Still, if I come to my table EMP11, so 1023 record is not deleted. Okay, now the point is understanding now. It's not deleted. Okay, right. So this is what we call as guys. But now the day was I'm changing. Let you come back. So I will go to any day. Okay, any day you can go. For example, today actually 16th now. Yeah, I will take 17 now and 2021. So I changed here and now come back here to take my system data. So December 17, 2021. So December 17, 2021 is called as a Friday. It's called as a Friday. So when come out, my condition is what now in this example? Okay, my restriction is only on Thursday. But now your system data is a Friday. So Friday is equals to Thursday. So Friday is equals to Thursday, condition is false. When condition is false, then your exception will not be fired. Exception will not be fired. So when exception will not be fired means your query will successfully executed. Your query will be successfully executed now. Okay. Let me see guys here. Now come to here. Now this time I'm going to perform that operation. See, my condition is false because today Friday. So Friday is equals to Thursday. Condition is false. When condition is false, your exception is not occurred, not fired here. So when exception is not fired, then your query execution successfully done. Okay, now? Now successfully done and one row is deleted. And let me come out and call here, select the star from. Okay, now? So my table EMP11, now we can see 1023 successfully deleted from table. Okay, so this is what now guys here. One more advantage of triggers, how we can go to restricted all DML operations at a time on a particular day wise, we can go to restricted here. This is an example of your statement level trigger. So how the day wise restrictions are applied? Okay, now in the same pattern, suppose one more example I'm giving to you. Create a trigger to restricted all DML operations on a table okay, a table between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. So now this time my restrictions on timings. So next example is what now I need to restricted my DML operations on a table between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, so that means exactly from the 9 to 5 in between, if user try to perform DML operations, then those operations are not allowed. Okay, now that means we cannot perform. So when we can perform, before 9 we can perform, after 5 we can perform, but in between 9 to 5 we cannot perform. Okay, now so this is called a time restrictions. But how we can write the logic for time restriction, guys? Means here, first logic I will explain to you because some people will be confusing if I'm going to write it directly. So what is my logic for this time? Okay, now what is our logic? So my logic is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It was saying. But we all of you know by default your operating system will take your timing in the 24-hour format. It's a default. Okay, now that is the default format of your time and time hours in operating system. So that is a common. And now in the 24 hours default format, here 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. means how we can write 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in 24 hours format also 9 a.m. only. Yes or no? That we know. And the 9 a.m. when it is started and when it is ended. Okay, that we want to know. So 9 a.m. 9.00002 9.5959. Okay, now. So can you tell me guys here 9.00002 9.59? Can I say this time is okay? This time is comes under 9 o'clock. Yes or no? Comes under 9 o'clock. Is it right? Can I say? Come on, guys. Can I say 9.00 to 9.59? This time period comes under 9 o'clock. Is it right or wrong? Yes. So it comes under 9 o'clock. Okay. Same pattern. My restriction is up to 5 p.m. Exactly. That means up to 5 p.m. Exactly. If more than 5 p.m., then operations are allowed because exactly 5 my restrictions are applied. After 5, no restrictions. I can perform my DML operations. So now how to take this one? For example, 5 p.m. I said. In your 24 hours, it is at 17 p.m. we can take. But here this logic is observed, guys. If I'm taking in my logic, 17 p.m. if I was taken in my logic, 17 p.m. means what now? Your 5 o'clock started 5050 to 5:59 5:59. Okay now. So this is also comes under 5 o'clock. But restriction what happened if I'm giving 17? My restriction is up to 5.59. That means your restriction is up to 6 o'clock. Yes or no? My restriction is up to 6 o'clock. Okay, because if I'm giving 17 p.m. in my logic, 17 p.m. if I'm giving in the logic, then it will take up to 5.59. So up to 5.59 means your restriction is up to 6 o'clock. Okay, now my restriction is up to 6 o'clock, it will go. But guys, tell me, your restriction is up to how much I said? Come on. Our restriction up to how much I said? 5 o'clock only. Up to 5 o'clock only restriction will be happened. I want it. But if I'm giving here 17 means my restriction is up to 6 o'clock. So then that means what I want to take here? Any guessing? What I want to take? What is the time I want to take for my end? To exactly, I want to restrict up to 5. Very good. Then I want to take a 4 p.m. I want to take. 4 p.m. means what now? 16 p.m. Now 4 p.m. Okay, timings what? 4:00 to 4:59:59. So that means 4:59:59 means, can I say guys here? This is exactly up to 5 o'clock your restriction is happened. Yes or no? Yes or no? If I'm taking 16 means my condition is satisfied now. Exactly up to 5 o'clock your restriction is happened. Okay, yes. So that means my condition how to take here means my condition between 9 and 16. Then your restriction is whatever you expected, exactly up to 5 o'clock your restriction will be happened. So but so many people they're thinking that, sir, can I use a 17? If you use a 17, nothing problem, but your restriction is up to 6 o'clock will go. Understand now? Your restriction is up to 6 o'clock will go. So that's why don't use a 17 as per our requirement, use a 16 only. Okay now? So now let me come out guys here. So now this is my present table. Okay. Now I'm creating one trigger object. Create or replace trigger T or time. And I'm using after insert or update or delete on EMP11. So begin if to underscore care of day, and here I will take hours and the condition how to hour interval, because I want to compare with the year hours. So sysdate hours. So my interval is what now? Hours, and hours which are 24 hours now. 24 hours. Now, so I will take here between 9 o'clock means 9 only, and up to 5 means 16. So between operator, I'm using which operator? Between operator, 9 and 16. So then, okay, if your time is comes under 9 to 16, then condition 2, when condition 2, rise your application exception error. So rise underscore application underscore error. That means exception I have to rise here. And now, so I want to say invalid time, the statement I'm passing, and finally end if, and finally end. Okay, the trigger is created. So now any operation again you have to try. suppose again I'm trying 1025 record. I want to delete 1025 is there. Okay, now fine. But come to my time is what now? Now the time is 8 o'clock. So morning 8 o'clock. Okay. If I want to execute this query, then successfully executed because my restriction from 9 to 5 only. Yes or no? Suppose guys here observe. I want to change my time, for example. If I'm changing time, here I will take 9 o'clock and here 9:30 a.m. and I executed. So come out and see guys here. Now my system time showing is 9:31 a.m. So here 9:31 means here what it was going to be happen, carefully observe. Your system date written, sir. What it was written? Time. So now sir, time is for example 9 o'clock. Okay, 9:31 something and some seconds are showing. Okay, now some seconds are showing now. Now in this time, what I'm asking, hour is asking, interval is hour. What is my hour? 9. My hour is 9. 9 it was asking because I'm asking hour. So 9. So 9 o'clock in 24 hours format, 9 o'clock only. Yes or no? Now tell me, now this 9 o'clock is coming between 9 to 16, is coming between 9 to 16. Yes or no? Come on, guys. 9 o'clock is comes between 9 to 16. Condition true or? Between operator condition true na? Yes, condition true. Yes or no? 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay, condition true. Then what happened? You can see it is not accepted, invalid time. It is not accepted, invalid time. Understanding now? So this is what. Same as if I want to try this and my time will be changed here again. Now I will take the time is so 4 and here the seconds also we have a second minutes here. So some 56 p.m. and the time. So come to my time now. Come to my time now. 4:56:27 something 4:56 p.m. 4. So 4 means here hour is 4. Hour is 4 means in 24 hours the 4 o'clock is nothing but what now 16. Then 16 is also there because between operator is going to be returns including source value and destination values. Already in basics we discussed. So now we are 16. So that means again condition is true. Again condition is true means this is what happened, not error. Because 4 o'clock means 16 hour. Okay now, so again not, and let me come out to check your data into EMP11. So 1025 record is not deleted still. Understand now? So now let me see. Suppose I'm going to changing my time. Okay, suppose I'm going to changing my time. Now 5 o'clock and I was given some time is 5:02 p.m. and change. So now time is, can you see guys here, 5 o'clock. The time is 5:02 now. So now 5 o'clock means as per your 24 hours format, 5 o'clock means 24 hours format, 5 o'clock means 17. Yes or no? 17. But tell me 17 is comes between 19, comes between 9 to 16. Come on guys. 17 is comes between 9 to 16. No, it not comes between 9 to 16. So that means condition is false. 5 o'clock is not comes between 9 to 16. Condition is false. So condition is false means exception will not fire. Exception will not fire means your record successfully deleted. Okay, now your record successfully deleted because my time is 5 crossed. What is my time? 5:03, 5 crossed. Okay, now. So this is the way time wise you can go to restrict your DML operations by using of triggers. So these are the advantages of triggers, guys. Okay, understand my point now? These are the advantages of triggers, how to restrict your DML operations on tables. Okay, so these are DML operations, how to restrict it. Same as another trigger is what now? DDL triggers. Same as second one. DDL triggers, or even we call it database triggers. Okay, now right. So these triggers are in the name only there. Okay, for what purpose here? So when we create, okay, a trigger object to control or restrict, to control or restrict, DDL operations. DDL operations means what now? Create command, alter command, okay, rename command, truncate command, drop command. Okay, now these are already operations. Restrict DDL operations on a particular, okay, on database. Simply we can say database, because creating table under database, altering table structure under database, rename table name, I want to rename under database, truncate database from the database, drop a table from the database. So these all operations are working on database area. But DML triggers are working on what I said. DML triggers are working on table. See, DML triggers are working on table. These are working insert, update. These are working on a particular table. Yes or no? So particular table, it was working. Okay. So now, but DDL triggers are working on particular table. Sorry, DML triggers are working on particular table, and DDL operations we are performing on particular database. Okay, now right. But these are, guys, here. These triggers are handling by only database administrators. That means the users and developers, they can't go for to create a DDL triggers, because this is completely working on database side. So that's why DBA person only they can handle, they can use. But programmer will not using this one. But still, okay, now same examples, whatever the same examples I said, okay, time restriction, day restriction, same as it is, your trigger, DDL triggers also, you can practice it. Okay, that the same example, 1 or 2 examples I was given in DDL, because already you know this knowledge. Same condition, I'm giving same hours, timing hours, same day wise, okay, na, same logic, but your operations will be changed. Okay, na, that's it. So just to practice that I was given in that document. So 1 or 2 example I was given, just how to restricted DDL operations. Okay, now, but in real time, these triggers are handling by database administrators. So because these are working on database side, so that means that in database server it was worker. So that's why the DBA people are handling. But based on the same, okay, how the day restriction, time restriction, same like this, I was given this 1 or 2 examples I was given how to restrict the DDL operations. Okay, so that is based on this knowledge that you will be practiced once. That's it. Okay, now, and same logic, same everything, same syntax, same thing, but yeah, just operation will change. And in place of EMP11, I want to give a database keyword here. Okay, that's it. Remaining logic will be same logic here. Okay, that what it is. Okay, just if you want to practice, you can practice. I was given, okay, 2 examples in notes. If you don't practice, leave it, no problem. Because in interviews, or if you go to database developing side, this is not that much important for you. Okay, because it is a DBA, people will be handling these triggers. Okay, now, right. So now this is, guys, here, finally, the subblocks, objects, whatever it is there. So there are 4 subblocks objects, okay, we discuss procedure object, function, package, and triggers. Okay, now procedure, function, and package, triggers. Okay, na? Right, yes. And the next we have a small topics are there. Okay, so that 2 to 3 topics are there, so that we will be finishing in this weekend. Okay, na? Right, yes. So thank you so much.